There's a pain you carry that nobody sees. It's not in your body. It's deeper. It lives in your chest, in your thoughts, in the memories you can't escape. It shows up at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep. It appears in quiet moments when you're alone. It replays like a movie you never wanted to watch, over and over and over. Maybe it was betrayal. Someone you trusted destroyed you, and you can still feel the knife in your back. Maybe it was loss. Someone you loved left, through death, through choice, through circumstance, and the emptiness where they used to be is suffocating. Maybe it was abuse. Physical, emotional, mental. Someone broke you, and the cracks never fully healed. Maybe it was failure. You gave everything to something, and it fell apart in your hands. Now you can't stop replaying what you should have done differently. Whatever it was, it changed you. You're not the same person you were before it happened. You tried to move on. You tried to be strong. You tried to forget. But trauma doesn't work that way. Pain doesn't just disappear because you want it to. And here's what makes it worse. Everyone expects you to be over it by now. It's been months. You need to let it go. Stop dwelling on the past. Others have been through worse, but they don't understand. Trauma isn't about time. It's about the weight you carry every single day. It's about the triggers that bring you back to that moment. It's about the fear that it will happen again. It's about the piece of yourself that was taken, and you don't know how to get it back. So you pretend you're fine. You smile. You function. You show up to work, to social events, to life. But inside, you're drowning. Inside, you're still stuck in that moment when everything broke. And the question that haunts you is this: will I ever be okay again? Here's the truth that changes everything. You will never go back to who you were before the trauma. That person is gone. But you can become someone stronger. Someone who transforms pain into power. Someone who uses suffering as fuel for growth. 2,000 years ago, a man named Marcus Aurelius faced unimaginable trauma. He watched his children die. He was betrayed by people he trusted. He led an empire through war, plague, and constant crisis. He had every reason to break, but he didn't. Instead, he wrote in his private journal words that would become meditations, and discovered something revolutionary. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control what you become because of it. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Translation: your trauma isn't just something that happened to you. It's the path to becoming the strongest version of yourself. Today, in the next 22 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how the Stoics transformed their deepest pain into their greatest strength. Not by denying it, not by pretending it didn't hurt, but by facing it, processing it, and using it. This isn't therapy. This isn't positive thinking. This is a battle-tested philosophy that has helped millions of people turn their worst moments into their defining moments. If you're ready to stop being controlled by your past and start using it to build your future, stay with me. If you're tired of carrying this weight and ready to transform it into strength, this video will show you how. Before we begin, I need you to do something. Hit that subscribe button right now. Not for me, for yourself. As a commitment that today you're choosing to heal. That today you're deciding your trauma doesn't get to write the rest of your story. Turn on notifications because what you're about to learn will change how you see pain forever. Let's take your pain and turn it into power. Understanding trauma the Stoic way. The Stoics lived in brutal times. Slavery, war, plague, political assassination. Loss was constant. Trauma was normal. Yet they found a way not just to survive but to thrive. How? by understanding something most people get wrong about trauma. What trauma actually is asterisk. Trauma isn't just the event that hurt you. It's the meaning you gave that event. It's the story you've been telling yourself ever since. The event. Someone betrayed you. The trauma. I can never trust anyone again. The event. You failed at something important. The trauma. I'm not good enough. I'll always fail. The event. Someone you loved left. The trauma. I'm not worthy of love. Everyone leaves. See the difference? The event happened once. But the trauma? You've been reliving it every single day through the story you tell yourself. Epictetus, who was born a slave and tortured until he was permanently disabled, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." He's not saying the event doesn't matter. He's saying your power isn't in changing what happened. It's in changing what it means. The Stoic truth about pain asterisk. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Pain is what happened to you. The actual event. The loss. The betrayal. The abuse. That was real. That hurt. Nobody denies that. Suffering is what you add to the pain through your interpretation. The story that says, "This defines me. This destroyed me. I'll never recover." Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Read that again. You have the power to change your estimate, your interpretation of what happened. Not immediately, not easily, but you have that power. What trauma does to you asterisk. Let's be honest about what you're dealing with. 1. It replays in your mind asterisk asterisk. Intrusive thoughts. Flashbacks. You can't stop thinking about it. 2. It changes how you see the world asterisk asterisk. Everything feels dangerous. Everyone seems like a threat. You can't relax. 3. It creates physical symptoms asterisk asterisk. Anxiety, panic attacks, insomnia. Your body is still in fight or flight mode. 4. It isolates you asterisk asterisk. You push people away. You don't trust. You feel like nobody understands. 5. It steals your future asterisk asterisk. You stop dreaming. You stop trying. You just survive day to day. The Stoics understood all of this. They experienced it. But they also discovered the path through it. The Stoic framework for healing asterisk. Step 1. Acknowledge the pain. Don't suppress it. Don't pretend you're fine. Say it. Something terrible happened to me and it hurt. Step 2. Separate the event from the story. What actually happened? Facts only. What story have you been telling about it? Your interpretation. Step 3. Reclaim your power. You can't change what happened, but you can change what you do with it. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Your trauma was the difficulty. Now it's time to let it strengthen you. Principle 1. Face it. Don't run from it. This is the hardest principle, but it's the most important. You've been avoiding your trauma. You distract yourself. You numb yourself. You stay busy. You push down the feelings. You tell yourself you're fine. But avoidance doesn't heal trauma. It just buries it alive. And buried trauma always finds a way to the surface. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. But to become unlike that person, unlike that situation, unlike that version of yourself, you first have to face what happened." The Stoic practice of controlled exposure asterisk. This isn't about drowning yourself in pain. It's about learning to sit with it in small, manageable doses. Step 1. Choose a time and place. Not when you're triggered. Not in public. Choose a quiet moment where you feel safe. Step 2. Set a time limit. Start with 5 minutes. That's all. You're going to think about what happened for exactly 5 minutes. Then stop. Step 3. Observe. Don't judge. Think about the traumatic event. But instead of diving into emotions, observe them like a scientist. My chest feels tight. I'm feeling anger. My hands are shaking. I want to cry. Step 4. Breathe through it. For counts in. For counts hold. For counts out. For counts hold. Repeat. Step 5. Return to the present. After 5 minutes, deliberately shift your focus. Name 5 things you can see right now. Touch something real. You're here now, not there then. Why this works asterisk. Every time you face the trauma in a controlled way and survive it, you prove to your brain, I can handle this. It can't destroy me anymore. Epictetus taught, don't seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do, and you will be serene. You wish the trauma never happened, but it did. So the only path to serenity is accepting that it happened and choosing to face it. What happens when you run asterisk? When you avoid trauma, it controls you. It shows up as panic attacks out of nowhere, unexplained anger, self-destructive behavior, relationship problems, physical illness. But when you face it deliberately on your terms, you take back control. Seneca's wisdom asterisk. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a person perfected without trials. Your trauma was the friction. Now let it polish you into something stronger. Real practice asterisk. Tomorrow find 5 quiet minutes. Set a timer. Think about one aspect of your trauma, not all of it, just one piece. Observe how it feels. Breathe. When the timer ends, return to the present. Do this daily for a week. You'll notice something. The pain is still there, but you're no longer terrified of it. You're learning to coexist with it. And that's the first step to healing. ## Principle 2. Rewrite the story. 10 to 1330. Right now, you have a story about your trauma. It sounds something like this. I was hurt, and now I'm broken. This destroyed me. I'll never be the same. I'm a victim. That story is keeping you stuck. Not because it's not true, but because it's incomplete. The Stoics believed in premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. But they also believed in memento mori. Remember you will die. Why does that matter? Because it reminds you, this story isn't over yet. You're still alive. You're still writing it. The current story versus the Stoic story ***. Current story ***. Someone betrayed me, and now I can't trust anyone. Stoic story ***. Someone betrayed me, and I learned that not everyone deserves my trust. Now I'm wiser about who I let close. I'm not naive anymore. I'm discerning. Current story ***. I was abused, and I'm damaged forever. Stoic story ***. I was abused, and I survived something that would break most people. I'm stronger than I knew. I'm a survivor, not a victim. Current story ***. I lost someone I loved, and now there's nothing but emptiness. Stoic story ***. I lost someone I loved, and that loss proved how deeply I can love. That capacity to love is still in me. I can love again, differently, but deeply. See the shift? You're not denying what happened. You're changing what it means. Marcus Aurelius's practice ***. Every night he wrote in his journal. He didn't just record events, he reframed them. He'd write about a difficult day, then ask himself, how can I use this? What strength can I build from this challenge? You can do the same. The rewriting exercise asterisk. Get a journal. Write your trauma story exactly as you've been telling it. All the pain, all the anger, all the hurt. Get it out. Then, on a new page, write, but here's what that experience actually taught me. And list everything. Strength you discovered. Boundaries you learned to set. Red flags you can now spot. Resilience you developed. Compassion you gained. Epictetus's question asterisk. He would ask, is this something I can control? The trauma? No, it already happened. The meaning I give it? Yes, that's mine to choose. Seneca's reminder asterisk. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Your current story about the trauma is making you suffer more than the actual event did. You've been reliving it, amplifying it, letting it define you. The new story doesn't erase the pain, but it transforms it from something that destroyed you into something that forged you. Your challenge asterisk. Write 2 versions of your trauma story, the victim version and the survivor version. Then choose which story you'll tell yourself from now on, because you get to decide. Are you broken by what happened, or are you being built by it? Hashtag Principle 3. Use pain as fuel, 1330 to 1630. The Stoics had a radical idea. Pain isn't just something to endure. It's something to use, Marcus Aurelius wrote. The blazing fire makes flames and brightness out of everything thrown into it. Whatever life throws at you, betrayal, loss, failure, abuse, can become fuel for your growth. But only if you choose to use it that way. How to transform pain into power asterisk. Step 1. Ask the Stoic question. What does this pain make possible that wasn't possible before? When you're betrayed, it makes possible wisdom about people, stronger boundaries, deeper self-reliance. When you lose someone, it makes possible appreciation for those still here, living more intentionally, helping others through grief. When you fail, it makes possible learning what doesn't work, building resilience, developing humility. Step 2. Channel the energy. Pain creates enormous emotional energy. Most people let it turn inward into depression, self-destruction, bitterness. The Stoics channeled it outward into action, creation, service. Real examples asterisk. Marcus Aurelius was betrayed by his closest friend and co-ruler. Instead of seeking revenge, he used that pain to deepen his philosophy about human nature. He wrote, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. He wasn't bitter. He was prepared. He used betrayal to become wiser. Epictetus was enslaved and tortured. Instead of letting it destroy him, he used it to develop a philosophy of inner freedom. He said, no one can hurt you without your permission. Principle 4. Build emotional resilience. 1630 to 1900 hours. Trauma makes you fragile. You're constantly on edge, waiting for the next bad thing. Every reminder triggers you. Every similar situation sends you spiraling. The Stoics developed practices to build what they called apatheia. Not apathy, but emotional resilience. The ability to feel without being controlled by feelings. The Stoic Resilience Framework asterisk. Practice 1. Negative visualization. This sounds dark, but it's incredibly powerful. The Stoics regularly imagined losing everything they had. Why? So that when something bad happened, they weren't destroyed by surprise. You can do this with your trauma. Imagine the worst-case scenario related to your fear. Then ask, if this happened, could I survive it? The answer is always yes, because you've already survived something terrible. Practice 2. The morning preparation. Marcus Aurelius started each day expecting difficulty. Not to be pessimistic, but to be prepared. You can do the same. Today I might be triggered. I might remember my trauma. But I'm ready. I have tools. I can handle it. Practice 3. The view from above. When you're triggered, zoom out. Imagine seeing yourself from above, then from space, then from the perspective of all of human history. This isn't minimizing your pain. It's gaining perspective. Your trauma is real and significant, but it's also one moment in a much larger story. Epictetus's practice asterisk. He taught his students to mentally rehearse challenging situations before they happened. If you know seeing a certain person or going to a certain place might trigger you, mentally prepare. I might feel anxious. My heart might race. I might want to run. But I'll breathe. I'll remember where I am. I'll use my tools. Building the resilience muscle asterisk. Every time you're triggered and you don't spiral, you just notice the trigger, breathe, and stay present. You're building resilience. First, it's hard. But like any muscle, it gets stronger with practice. Seneca's reminder asterisk. A gem cannot be polished without friction. Every trigger is friction. Every difficult moment is polishing you into something stronger, clearer, more beautiful. The resilience practice asterisk. Create a trigger plan. 1. List your known triggers. 2. For each one, write what you'll do when it happens. 3. Practice your response in low-stakes situations. 4. Gradually build up to harder situations. You're not trying to eliminate triggers. You're learning to move through them without being controlled by them. Hashtag Principle 5. Find meaning in the suffering. 19 to 2100 hours. Viktor Frankl, who survived Nazi concentration camps, was deeply influenced by Stoic philosophy. He wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." The Stoics believed that everything, even terrible things, can have meaning if you choose to give it meaning. The meaning-making process asterisk. Step 1. Accept that it happened. You can't change the past. Fighting this fact keeps you stuck. Acceptance isn't approval, it's acknowledgement. Step 2. Decide what it will mean. Your trauma can mean, I'm broken and life is cruel. Or it can mean, I'm being forged into something stronger. Only you get to decide. Step 3. Live according to that meaning. If your trauma means, I'm a survivor who helps others, then help others. If it means I'm someone who sets boundaries, then set them. If it means I choose joy despite the darkness, then choose joy. Marcus Aurelius's approach asterisk. He lost multiple children. He could have let that destroy him. Instead, he wrote, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." He gave his loss meaning. It taught him not to take anything for granted. It deepened his appreciation for each moment. Your trauma's meaning asterisk. What if your trauma's purpose was to make you the person who helps others through similar pain? Teach you strength you needed for what's ahead. Show you who truly loves you. Remove what was holding you back. Prepare you for your life's real purpose. You might not see it now, but meaning often reveals itself over time. Epictetus's question asterisk. Is this in my control? What happened? No. What it means? Yes. What I do with it? Yes. Seneca's promise asterisk. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Your suffering wasn't meaningless. It was heavy labor that built mental strength most people will never have. The meaning exercise asterisk. Right. My trauma happened so that I could fill in as many endings as possible. Not all will feel true right now, but plant these seeds. One day they'll grow into your new story. Hashtag conclusion. From victim to victor, 21 to 2230. 2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius wrote these words. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Your trauma stands in your way, but it's also showing you the way to strength, the way to wisdom, the way to becoming who you're meant to be. You didn't choose what happened to you. Nobody chooses trauma, but you can choose what you become because of it. Here's what we covered asterisk. 1. Face it, don't run, controlled exposure heals. 2. Rewrite the story, you're a survivor, not a victim. 3. Use pain as fuel, transform suffering into strength. 4. Build resilience, prepare for triggers, don't fear them. 5. Find meaning, your trauma can have purpose if you give it one. The Stoic promise asterisk. You will never be who you were before the trauma. That person is gone. But you can become someone better, someone stronger, someone who takes what broke them and uses it to build others. Your next steps asterisk. 1. Choose one principle from this video. 2. Practice it for the next 7 days. 3. Come back when you need reminded of your strength. If you're struggling asterisk. Healing isn't linear. Some days will be harder than others. That's normal. That's human. Keep going anyway. And if you need professional help, therapy, counseling, support groups, get it. The Stoics believed in using every available tool. Pride isn't strength. Asking for help is. Final words asterisk. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire. But his greatest victory wasn't over enemies. It was over himself. Over his pain. Over his trauma. You're fighting the same battle. And you can win it. Not today. Not tomorrow. But one day at a time, one choice at a time, one moment at a time, you will win. Subscribe if you want more Stoic wisdom for overcoming life's hardest moments. Turn on notifications. And drop a comment telling me, what meaning will you give your pain? Remember, your trauma happened to you. What you do with it happens through you. You're not broken. You're breaking through. I'll see you in the next video. Stay strong, warrior.